Okay, so we have the nut hit on that disc sander. So I'm going to put it back in, check its fit. And what I want is I want it to be a little bit oversized so that I can sand it back so it's smooth. So it's in, it's sitting flat. So now I need to mark where the strings go. So I do this with one of these Stu Mac things. And maybe you want to come to this side. Okay. Now I will start my slots with this super expensive Swiss file.
I think it's called an escapement file.
Is it? That's fancy. It's by this, it says Swiss made. So I just find that the saws that they sell for this job and the regular nut files, they just slip when you try to get them started. But this thing never slips, so I really like it. Now we do these two slots the same thickness or width, right? So that you could have a high or low G in this one someday if you wanted, and it doesn't buzz or anything. It works great. So I'll start with my one that I'm going to do these first two with, and now I want this to travel and follow the back angle of this. Just you don't want to make a nut slot that's flat this way. You want it to be like that. So just get it started, and then I'll pull my feeler gauge out. And what I want eventually is for this knot to rock. I want it to be set. And it's better to work your way down to it than to hit it right on. Okay, that's got a little wiggle left, so I'll leave it for now. Start on this one. Okay, good for now. Switch to the one for the E.
We get these nut files from a place called Auto Fray, and they're sized in tenths of a millimeter. So the one that Aaron is using right here is 0.6 millimeter. The E string is 0.7.
Mm-hmm. 6, 7, and 8.
And then 0.8 millimeters, yeah, for the C and the G.
Okay, so also I should point this out over here, Gordon. This is how my brain operates. We have so many tools and stuff in the shop that I like to keep it all together. So this side I've got my escapement file, right? Is that the right word? Feeler gauges, and then the 6, 7, 8. Over here we have other sizes for other strings that we don't use as much. Baritones, unwound low Gs, lap steel slots. This thing goes here. And then on this end I have more tools we're going to use in a little bit, and that little pencil, string winder, everything. So that when I'm using this one I can just pull it all out and I got it. Okay, so now that's the basic slotting. We'll do a little bit more later to tweak things. Now I'll bring it over to this little vise. We've got these files that have 4 grits. The roughest one actually chips the bone, so I don't use that. I start on this second roughest. And I'm just doing the basic shaping now. You may have noticed when I was sanding this on the belt sander, I knocked off the back edge on the belt sander. That's because this first file cut has a tendency to chip out the nut. And so if I can relieve that edge first with the belt sander, or the disc sander, it usually works better. Okay, I'm going to switch now to finer grit. Is grit the right word for a file? Am I making that up, Gordon? What should I say?
That's a good question. I don't think it's grit. I think there's a word for it.
And then
You talk about how coarse a file is,
yeah,
coarse and
coarseness.
fine.
So now this is the last one of the 3 I'm going to use.
And just to orient people, I'm going to put my finger in there. That is toward the front of the instrument. The headstock is back this way. So
Yeah.
what Aaron's doing is sloping the back of it, just easing it so it'll look better, and also your finger won't catch on it.
And then I'm going to do the saddle in the same way.
Although the saddle, he's going to, it's going to be sloped on both sides, so it peaks right in the middle.
Yeah, so I'm going to need to keep going. I have to do this.
Get out of my way, he
Yeah,
says.
I don't know how you do it, but I'm going to have to keep flipping.
I flip the saddle in the vise, because I can't get around mine. I don't have as good a bench as you got.
Okay, and then I'm just going to pick it up and look at my peak and see if it's how I like it. It needs to be sharper. We don't want a real sharp peak. I shouldn't use that word, but I don't want a big flat spot on the top of the saddle either, because it'll make buzzy sounds. Yeah, that's good. Then the sandpaper will do the rest. Should we show that part, or should we stop?
No, we're in 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes. I think we can finish this off.
Okay, 320 grit, flat, hard table. I'll start by sanding my flat edges on this. A little more. Now that peak on the top of the saddle. Okay, now I've got these rounded edges, so I'll pick it up and do it in my hand. Yeah, that's good for now. I need to check first to make sure it's fitting in this properly before I stop sanding. And yeah, that actually feels nice and smooth on the sides. So I'm going to leave it. So now, nut and saddle are ready.